Obviously a very exciting week. It seems to this point that the championship is on the line every single week, none more than this, as we're going up against probably the best opponent that we played all season. We're excited about our matchup. We feel this is going to be a week that defines us as a program and as a brotherhood. So the mission is simple: is to come out of that game in Salt Lake, with our fifth win.
Mike, can you describe the evolution in the vertical game? You seem more comfortable against Colorado going downfield to Tim White in particular. How has that evolved?
Yeah, I think it starts obviously up front. I think our offensive line play is getting better every single week. Guys are getting more comfortable and obviously being able to get more time back in the pocket. But I think our receivers are truly probably alongside of our offensive line getting better week to week, understanding, seeing coverages, just straight up beating man coverage. And it's been great to see that every week we're getting better as an offensive unit.
You mentioned the improved offensive line play. What specifically have you seen from them, and how big is that for trying to make sure that you have enough time and space to do what you need to do in the pocket?
Yeah, I mean, games are won up front. Championships are won up front. Offensive line and defensive line, I mean, that can make or break a ball game. And I think that just the way they've been able to communicate these last couple of weeks and just their confidence going into the game, I mean, they're the heart and soul of our offensive unit, and just being able to communicate with them during games, before games. I know that Nick is a leader of that offensive line group, and you don't got to worry about them right now being prepared. They're confident and they're just excited for whoever's against them.
Mike, with Devin Lucien having scored his first Sun Devil touchdown on Saturday, can you talk a little bit about him and about the way he has so quickly been incorporated into your brotherhood? It's got to be really challenging, not only coming from another school, but from a Pac-12 South Division rival like that.
Absolutely. I think Devin Lucien, anybody that knows him, they'll say that he's the most competitive person that I've ever been around. And just to know that he's the kind of kid that's going to be catching passes for our football team, you wouldn't want it any other way. He's laser focused. He knows what he wants. He knows he wants to catch the ball and he wants to go score. And he's been a great teammate, being able to adapt from probably two different ends of the world, it seems like. But what he's doing right now is putting his head down. He's going to work. He loves his football team. I know he loves this offense, and you're going to see him more in the end zone coming up in the next few weeks.
Mike, at halftime, before you guys go off the field, Coach Graham usually talks to you guys right there near the sideline. This past Saturday, you talked to him, it looked like. I don't know if have you done that before at all?
Yeah, I have.
Do you do it every week?
Occasionally. I mean, it's all based on the situation and how Coach Graham feels about the situation, whether he feels he needs to say his 2 cents or not. But he just pointed to me, gave me a nod, and I know that he believes that I see really eye to eye with him on what needs to be said, and really all that needed to be said was just basically that can't turn the football over, and that starts with me, and just making sure that we get our energy up for the second half and we dominate, and it was exactly that, and to get our fourth win was the mission. However it looked, ugly or clean, coming out of there that night.
After what games have you done that this year? Or at halftime, at what games have you done that this year?
I can't exactly remember. I think I might have been Stanford last year. Okay. Stanford last year, maybe this year. But I think he's just getting more and more comfortable letting, like he says, players lead. And I really feel that that's a big growth for him as a coach and for us as players.
And then after the USC loss, when things didn't look real promising at the time, did you and Jordan, the other captains, did you guys have like a players-only meeting, or did you guys do anything out of the ordinary, or was it just pretty much the same thing throughout?
Coach kind of laid the foundation that next Sunday about what the Sunday and Monday specifically, he talked about what the expectations were, and he gave us a pretty elusive diagram of what the years past have been from 2012 all the way, kind of gave us a little history background. And we've been able to do a great job as leaders, kind of being able to talk to guys, not necessarily in this team room, just whether it be in the locker room, in the parking lot, wherever it may be. Guys are going to dinner with each other. I think that's what's been huge, is that we have built that bond from Camp T, where players are used to going out to eat with players after hours, and it really does show in situations like that type of controversy, adversity, and to where we are now.
Mike, you've busted out some big runs this year. Can you describe the decision-making process? Obviously, you're looking at the edge rusher when you decide to keep it and run and hit the edge. But is there also a willingness to say, maybe it's time for me to take that option as well? Can you take us inside that?
Absolutely. I mean, this is college football. You only get one opportunity as a senior group to go win a championship. And when it's third down and however long, if there's a situation where I need to pull the ball down and get that first down, it doesn't matter what the situation is, we got to go get it as an offense. And I think that one of the greatest things that Coach Graham and Coach Norvell do for the quarterback position is understanding how using your feet can be a huge dynamic for an offense. And I've really been able to just adapt to that style and really believe in it. And I know the offensive line will be the first person to pick me up if I'm knocked down. And, that's just how this offense gets rolling.
Hey, Mike. Cal's quarterback had 4 or 5 interceptions against Utah. What do you make about Utah's success that they've been able to have on the defensive side of the ball, and your matchup against them?
Utah's a very opportunistic football team. They've done a great job thus far. They play with energy and they play with passion, and that's something that we got to match and surpass. But the reality is we got to focus on ourselves, do what we need to do. And it starts tomorrow at practice, and it's just going to be, it's going to be 7 in the morning. What are ours going to look like? How are we going to take the bubble? What kind of motivation are you going to have? Are you going to be self-motivated, or are you going to wait for someone else to motivate you? And I don't think you have to worry about that this week. And from an offensive perspective, we'll take care of business, and it starts by winning the turnover ratio.